Did you like the messaging, the sort of holiday messaging?
So I like it, but I don't understand why they want to take it out.
I think it's good to acknowledge all the different cultures and celebrate all the different holidays.
It's also good to see those messages to remember what holidays we celebrate here in Canada.
So if there's multiple buses routes coming through a single station, then you don't want someone to accidentally think I'm not to get on that bus because it's flipping over and saying a welcoming message.
The days of MiWay buses displaying a seasonal message on the front scrolling marquee are over. Mississauga City Council voting to accept the staff and committee recommendation to go back to the basics of sticking to route information. Councillor Joe Hornick, who chairs the Transit Advisory Committee, says at one point there were up to 13 different messages approved that drivers could display, acknowledging holidays or causes. He says it sounds nice, but for regular riders with low vision, having unrelated information scroll in while trying to read had become a problem.
People, especially on our accessibility committee and on our transit committee who are frequent users, said that the rotation of messages becomes confusing for regular users. If a bus thing is changing, then all of a sudden, you may miss a stop that you should know about and be able to get onto your transit. So we want to make the transit as usable for everyone.
The other issue, with 10 plus approved messages on most years, picking and choosing which holiday or cause would be allowed presents a fairly obvious problem of its own.
There is a bit of that. I mean, we want to recognize everyone's, national days, flag raisings, celebrations that everybody has, pieces of recognition that are so important to our community. And we have many venues to do that. But we just thought it best that this might not be one of them because, again, we don't want to interfere with users' experience on riding transit.
Instead of some messages, I would rather prefer bus informations.
Just stick to the basics.
Yes, stick to the basics. That's what my take.
I understand the messages take up like half the time on the screen, so it's a lot easier for people to see the routes and everything without those messages.
It can only be a helpful step forward.
Meanwhile, David Lepofsky is an accessibility advocate. He says those living with disabilities still face lots of barriers, but adds this particular change should be helpful.
There will be helpful for people with low vision and people with any kind of cognitive or learning processing issues. The less visual clutter, the better.
We did also reach the Toronto Transit Commission. A spokesperson confirmed for me that no holiday messaging is displayed on TTC bus signs. At Square One in Mississauga, David Zura, City News.